Hi. Looked for the shaman. There's no shaman here. Probably the only level where there isn't a shaman, if I recall correctly. So there's that. Anyway, welcome back to Let's Play Oddworld Munch's Oddysee. This is the... not the loading docks, that was the last level. The egg docks or something like that. Something with eggs in it. We start off in this intern dorm room. A couple of bunk beds and a very dirty bathroom. It's pretty much a prison cell, really. Very unsanitary. But if you ever look at intern concept art, they're not really known to be sanitary creatures. So this stage... it's a lot more action-oriented. No, it's not. But it is more fun than the loading docks, which was the last stage. We have a lot more... less repetition, actually. A lot more repetition would be bad. Start off by running through and into this really big room full of interns. And also full of egg cartons. That's right. But there's no crane here. But... how are we going to get them into the big well? I'm going to call that, well, the big well. Like the big well in the beginning of the game. Okay, maybe it's not a big well. How about the medium well? The medium well. We'll find out how to do that later on. Right now, we want to take care of all these interns. And not even all of them. More like the ones on the gratings up top. Because they'll shoot you. As I said, they'll shoot you. And you don't want them to shoot you while you're trying to save the eggs. Luckily, we don't have to do some really monotonous zapping with Munch. Instead, we get explosions, which are always good. Explosions are one of my favorite parts of this game, so good deal, I think. And we have this health up to make sure we don't die. My only trouble is that actually hitting the interns when they move around is a bit annoying. But I think I get most of them. This is the last shot I have before I give up. Just so you know, they have these little barriers on the side on this platform here, like these little walls popping out. I think they're supposed to protect you from the gunshots, but they don't really do anything. I wouldn't bother relying on them. Labor egg storage, that's the name of the level. I told you it had to do something with eggs. Anyway, once you got that done, we save the eggs by carrying them. That's right. Wimpy old Abe can actually carry these really heavy eggs that have little hairs sticking out of them, which is kind of cute, I guess. I don't like it. Carrying eggs is very dangerous. If you run into a wall while carrying an egg, the egg will blow up. And by blow up, I mean, like, shatter. Just the whole thing shatters spontaneously. If you fall, well, if you fall, it'll obviously shatter. If you get shot at, it'll probably shatter in your hands. And throwing the eggs into the medium well is no fun either. Mainly because, personally, I just can never trust Abe when he's throwing them in. I never trust, like, the distance of the throw when I try to save the eggs. My advice, well, what I do at least, is to use some sort of, like, physical indication that you're good. Like, for example, this ground has, the floor has tiles. And basically, I just stand on the very edge of this tile, or in between those two tiles, and then make my little throw. It works for me in this area. There we go. So, yeah, I'm not going to show all that off. It's going to be kind of repetitive. Instead, after this quick save, we're just going to cut ahead to me dying. By the way, if you jump into that well, you die. Just an FYI. There's actually a glitch regarding that where if you jump into the well while powered up on like Espresso or Invisible or something, then that power-up is supposed to stay with you like forever until you actually die again. And I was trying to do that, but it didn't work out. Which is strange, because I made it work before, but a while ago, but it didn't work this time. I guess it's just random if it works or not. Whatever, so I died. I just plain up died, and just cut out all the middleman in between. Either way, we have all the A cartons saved, I think, so all we got left to do is to just get rid of these interns. The one at the very bottom are much easier to take care of course, because they just stand still and look at you like dumbs. And hold on a second. What do we have here? Huh. An egg carton. Right in the middle of the corner. Just all by itself. Very easy to miss. And I actually almost missed it while I was running down. Me catching it was pretty lucky on my part, actually. Being attentive. Gotta watch out for those little sneak attacks made by the developers. And, of course, I get paranoid after seeing that and check the other corners. Luckily, nothing else. So these dorm rooms, of course, will have scrubs in them, and they're supposed to clean up the rooms. Kind of doing a bad job at it. They all look the same to me. Some of these dorm rooms are strange. Like, a table in here has a cigarette on it. And I have to wonder to myself, why does an intern need a cigarette when its mouth is stitched completely shut? I mean, they can't open their mouths. You know, if you look at concept art, again, just no opening whatsoever. Which really raises up a bunch of other questions, like how do they eat? Like, do interns really even need to eat? Honestly? Is that a thing they do? As a matter of fact, does anything here eat? I mean, obviously something eats because they make all those food products, but like, you never see a Mudakin eat, have you? This whole game, have you seen a Mudakin eat? Yeah, sure, they drink the stuff, but they don't eat anything. Munch? Gabbits eat fish. Maybe they're not even fish. I mean, maybe they're the Oddworld equivalent of fish. Maybe they are fish 10 times bigger than a shark in our real world. You gotta think about that kind of stuff. The sense of scale in Oddworld. All of this could be larger than the largest skyscraper that you know. I don't know why I went off on a rant like that. Anyway, we got control of Munch, and he's gonna be doing the same thing as, well, in the last level, really. Except just not as bad. Like, you got a room full of enemies. You zap them, and you run away and you recharge. It's not as bad because, well, first of all, you don't have Vikers anywhere. The Vikers won't hit you, so you don't die as easily. And recharging is pretty easy because the intern AI is just really stupid. I actually make some good use of using the AI in this level. Pretty interesting stuff, to me. I find it interesting. And interns are just far more vulnerable than Vikers. 5 hits from zapping an armored intern like 5 or 6 times should take him down. Which is interesting since I recall normal interns also taking that much to hit, so really armored interns don't really get that much more armor. My only complaint is that because the A button is used for like everything from drinking and getting on the wheelchair, in that sometimes you'll get on the wheelchair when you want to drink zap, or vice versa. Gets irritating after a while. Yeah, see, that guy, I zapped him like 5 times and he was already down, so, yeah. One thing I like doing is to have a quick little last attack on them. Granted, this almost killed me, but I think it was well worth it. I didn't die, so it's okay. And while I was playing, I noticed on that pipe that was producing the wheelchairs, it has a handicap symbol. And that's just incredible. I mean, it's just a flat texture on a pipe, but that's detail right there. That's detail you can expect from the people that make this game. What's even more strange is that the handicap symbol has a person on it. And as far as I know, there are no people in Oddworld, only weird things. Or maybe there are. Oddworld's a big place, by the way. Like, Oddworld is huge, so maybe there are humans on Oddworld. Just another thing to consider. This Oddworld could just be a solar system in the same universe as ours. Or maybe Oddworld is Earth, except genetically, somehow altered to be much bigger. Or maybe everything is really small, but you can't tell. Huh. See, it's these things that I think about before I go to sleep. Really. That's how exciting my life is. Anyway, that intern right there. When we get rid of him, Munch will be pretty safe, I think. It's just really this side of the room where you have to do some zapping. See, one zap, we're good. And I'm hiding here because I'm not really sure why I hide here, actually. I think I just want to examine what I have ahead of me. If you look carefully, there's something we haven't seen in a while, and that's the recycling machine. That hasn't popped up since the slog huts? Actually, that's only been in the slog huts, so it's a nice return to the game, second to last level in the game where we get the recycling machine. Very fun to use, although don't use it as much as I would have liked to in this stage. And just so you know, getting the zap at this point to fight interns is pretty much useless, so I'd recommend not doing it. You get outnumbered too quickly. Check out this ramp. There's like nothing up this ramp. It's pretty useless. So here we go, other side of the room. We're gonna use a camera glitch. So basically, notice how when I turn on the crane here, the intern shoots me. That's because some enemies in this game are glitched, in that when the camera doesn't see them, the enemy doesn't see you. And it doesn't work for all enemies. It's strange. It's like the guys up top, like the guy looking at me below the platform, he looks really weird doing that. He can still see me. Then again, he is on the camera. But even when he's not on the camera, I guarantee you, he is still able to see me. And as you can see, that guy, every time I turn on the crane, I just get shot at. As soon as I'm not on the crane anymore, I'm home free. But he's annoying, and I'd like to get rid of him and miss with the crane. I hate the crane in this stage. The Viker slabs really makes you dislike the crane because they are really high above the ground, and it takes forever for them to go down and actually get what you need to get, and that's just irritating when saving the eggs. Man, but throwing them in the recycling machine never gets old. Retrospect, that sounded a bit off, but don't worry about it. I don't throw people in recycling machines, even if they are bad people. Now, some of these enemies I can't get with this crane. There are actually two cranes right next to each other here, and if I wanted to pick the other guys up, I'd have to go to the other crane. But I don't want to do that, don't want to risk Munch getting hurt, so instead, we are going to have Munch carry this powder keg over and throw it off to the interns. It takes a bit of momentum and practice to get, of course. See, nothing to it. Now, I just did something stupid, by the way. I left my wheelchair behind at the platform. Don't do that. Because these platforms where the crane control is, Munch can't jump up onto them by himself. You need the wheelchair, and try as I might, can't jump up top. And the intern shooting at me isn't really helping either. Eventually I just get really frustrated. So let's have an experiment. What happens if you get on the recycling machine, but before the recycling machine gets you, you get shot and killed? Let's find that out. You break the game. Well, no, you don't really break it, you just get a black screen, and what really ends up broken is the recycling machine. And I think this actually happened before. like earlier in the LP and one of the slog huts, but now it's just gonna keep on going on, non-stop, really loud, forever. You can't fix it. Just a weird glitch that happens. I apologize if it annoys you, but, well, personally, I find it to be somewhat soothing. I'm not sure why, but after a while it's like that fan that you have in like your room, and the dull noise of the fan lulls you to sleep. Anyway, that was a really one of the more drastic jump cuts of the video. Didn't want to have to see you watch me go all the way back here. Got the wheelchair back, and now I'm just throwing the rest of the interns in a recycling machine. As you can see, there's no cutscene this time. It just goes straight to the killing. Part of breaking the thing. And this guy just didn't have any patience for it. We got a combo explosions, which is always nice. So that's all the interns down. We've got no more interns to worry about. We're relatively safe here. And that means we're down to the most exciting part of the stage. Gathering the scrubs and the fuzzles. Just so exciting. I'm sure you'll love watching me do it. Basically, where all those powder kegs were, there are 2 intern dorm rooms, which really don't make sense why they're there, because I'm not sure how an intern would get down from there. And they are just full of scrubs. Get there by carrying Abe over. Still looks really uncomfortable. It looks like the crane is carrying him by the neck. Not sure how it's not hurting him at all. But as you may remember, scrubs and any of your Mudakan buddies won't just walk off a ledge. You gotta throw them off. And this results in some quite annoying babysitting. Just one by one for like 10 scrubs, because there's like 5 other scrubs in the other room. Just throwing them off. Great fun, really. So I don't like you, so you, the viewer, I mean, so I cut off all that fun, so you didn't have to watch me throw all the scrubs off. I'm sure you're very disappointed. And of course, I throw the scrubs off a ledge, which doesn't even go up to like their knee, but nope, they still won't walk off it. You gotta throw them off. So you get some throwing off scrub action. Don't worry. I'm not that mean. I'm glad we shared that moment. I was being quiet on purpose. Now, I make a little goof here. You do want to have the scrubs stay out of harm, obviously, so they don't die. But there's one part coming up ahead in particular that is quite a dick move. Like a bigger dick move than that one egg carton hidden in the corner. Very unexpected, and it could completely ruin your game, especially if you've never quick saved throughout the level. But of course, I forget. You gotta have the scrubs pull the levers to open the door. Much like in the slog huts. You know, this should have just been the other slog hut level. No one would have noticed anything. Just take out the egg cartons and it would have been a perfect slog hut level. Maybe throw in a couple of slogs here and there. Instead of interns, just make it full of slogs. And no one would have noticed. Trust me. Alright. I don't like having the scrubs this close to the door. I'm being very protective of them because you will not believe how awful this will become. That being said, putting them close to the recycling machine doesn't make me feel much better. So what you do is have Abe chill around there. Quick save. For the love of God, quick save. And Munch. Get Munch to work. He's at full health, so he should be good. At the end of this hallway are 2 of my greatest fears. One of them is egg cartons. Munch, get in the... okay. The other fear in this restricted area are Vikers. And boy, even when they don't have saw blades, they still hit hard and fast. Yep. But see, it's no big deal. That isn't the dick move, by the way. See, this is actually pretty tame compared to what happens a little bit later. And before you ask, something's about to happen. It's pretty gnarly. The capture card just takes a complete shit. And trust me, I've tried recording this like 3 times. This happened every time. So the audio desyncs a little and the audio freaks out. But luckily you can tell what's going on. Just, you got some weird ass slow music going on. So anyway, just try to ignore it. Anyway, once you got that covered, you want to have Abe here, and of course, since there are egg cartons everywhere, you want Abe, or there are egg cartons everywhere, so there's going to be a crane to carry them, because the well is on a higher floor here. And don't ask why I'm standing next to the door. Since the audio's screwed up, it's a failed idea, but you're supposed to hear the battle music still going on. There's something hiding behind the door. And what could it be? Don't worry, you'll find out. See, audio's back to normal, it's just really slow now. So we pick up Abe, drop him off next to the lever, get rid of the crane, and don't pull the levers, Abe. Get Munch out of there. Get him out of there. Far away. Where no one will see him. Wait, gonna have the wheelchair closer to the zap. For safety's sake. Now pull the lever. There's a Viker with a saw blade. That's awful. It's awful that they hide that there. Because, let me tell you about having scrubs in that room, not knowing that as soon as the door would open, a Viker with a saw blade would come fucking serial killing all of them, including Munch. Just a complete dick move. Classic Oddworld. I love it. Completely ruined my level, and I hated it at the time, but now I don't mind. But that was the last fret in the stage. All that's left is to save all the fuzzles, which I, of course, cut out for you. You don't want to watch me go all the way back and just free all the fuzzles. That's boring. I know that's boring. I'm not going to be sarcastic about it. God. I guess you could have had the fuzzles fight the Vikers. I wouldn't recommend it because of how hard they hit and how quickly they hit. Fuzzles wouldn't really stand a chance. They're pretty useless when it comes to fighting when you think about it. Alright. And now, of course, we're gonna go for the scrubs? The scrubs, yes, of course. But yeah, if you pay attention to the scoreboard, yeah, I'll call it the scoreboard, you'll actually notice that managers and security are replaced by Vikers and interns, respectively. Which is kind of cool. The Vikers are the managers of Vikers Labs, it makes sense. So, yeah.
Hey there, fellow chump.
Well, it kind of makes the term manager less fulfilling, I guess.
Hey, you chumps.
I think the best part of this level is the music. This is by far the best track in the game. Very catchy, very boppy. Just very good. You may notice that powder keg there. You could have used a powder keg with Abe to fight off the Vikers, but chances are the Vikers would see you before you got to throw the keg, and well, then just all of you would explode, and that wouldn't end up very well. Alright, let's see if we saved all the scrubs. We're missing 4 scrubs! Who did we miss? Well, let's play a game. Find out where the scrubs were, and you can pat yourself on the back. I can't really give an award out because you could cheat. You could skip ahead in the video, then go back and then say it. I know your tricks. But surprise, it's the 4 scrubs that were in the intern dorm rooms. What a shock. Man, those 2 guys are just going all into each other. It's kind of gross. Alright, that's all the scrub saved. That's all the fuzzles saved. All we got left are the egg cartons. Of course, I'm not going to show you that. You get the gist of it. This took, like, God knows how long to take. I think this was at least, like, 3 gigabytes of footage, just recording eggs. So, it was fun. I liked it. Anyway, that was labor egg storage. And guess what's up next? It's the last video of the Let's Play, the last level of the game. I'm pumped. I'm sure you're pumped. So I'll see you next time, the last time of Let's Play Oddworld Munch's Oddysee.